I never thought I would live to see the day where the Bama LSU game featured two top 10 teams and it got overshadowed in the SEC, but yet here we are. Look at the SEC East flexing its muscle. Bama versus LSU, Saturday, 7 Eastern kickoff on ESPN because Georgia and Tennessee got the A-list window in CBS 3:30. LSU gets a night game against Bama. Death Valley at night. What more could you want if you're an LSU fan? I would advise you, don't go back and look at historical trends here. Forget about the series history. It will only make you furious. So just worry about the here and now. I got a little blind resume test for you guys. I should have had it made graphically, but whatever. I got two quarterbacks playing in this game. We got Jaden Daniels, we got Bryce Young. One of them has passed for 292 yards a game. The other has passed for 291.9 yards per game. One of them has accumulated 21 touchdowns. The other one has accumulated 21 touchdowns. One of them has turned the ball over twice this year. One of them has turned the ball over 3 times this year. I did not say totals there. I said averages per game. They're nearly identical, at least in those stat categories. If anything, it looks like Jaden Daniels has about a 0.1 yard per game edge. So congratulations to the quarterback there at LSU. Point being, numbers can lie to you because Bryce Young is solidly the better quarterback in this game. But we do not have chopped liver on the other side with which to chalk this up as an easy win for Alabama. So the line on the game right now is 13. Bama minus 13. Is there a path to an upset? Yeah, Bama's playing on the road. There is absolutely a path to an upset. They could play Shaw High School in Columbus, and there would be a path to an upset because Bama's not Bama on the road anymore. I will continue to say that until they prove me otherwise. Look at that place. It's not an easy place to play. LSU has had 3 games this year with a 100-yard rusher. This is the whole game Saturday. Forget about the rest of the... Don't forget about it. I don't want you to watch it. But I'm telling you, the most important stat category Saturday is LSU running the football. They have not been good doing it this year. They've had 3 games where they've had a 100-yard rusher. 2 of the 3 were Jaden Daniels at quarterback. So they have not had anything close to what they need at the running back position. And if you have any hope for LSU pulling this upset off, absent some crazy turnover game, what are we thinking about? We're thinking about the struggles Bama had at Tennessee. Why did Bama struggle at Tennessee? Home crowd, which LSU will have, and Tennessee running the ball to set up mismatches out wide on the perimeter. Can LSU do that? Because you can't have one without the other. So I strongly question whether LSU can run the ball and put themselves in favorable matchup situations enough. The second part is, for some of the names on this LSU roster at wide receiver, the production hasn't been there. So if we have a Jalen Hyatt performance in the wings, it's going to surprise everyone. Not saying it can't happen. I'm saying it's going to surprise everyone if it does happen. The other thing that creates in terms of a problem is LSU has allowed 26 sacks this year. And that is second worst in the SEC. And you go back to that Tennessee game, it's a familiar theme. Alabama's pass rush was non-existent in that Tennessee game. Why was that? It was because of the versatility and then success in the passing game that Tennessee was able to have. Quick strikes, too, in the pass game. But also, it wasn't just a bunch of slants. Tennessee ended up somehow, some way, convincing Bama to drop Dallas Turner into coverage. You had Will Anderson occasionally dropped into coverage. And the reason you can do that is because they're terrified of what you can do through the air, and they're adjusting defensively accordingly. I don't necessarily expect to see 15 dropping in pass coverage a lot Saturday night, only because I don't know that LSU can get them into that look. I don't know that LSU can convince them that they have to worry about the same things that Tennessee convinced them they had to worry about. And because of that, I think Alabama's pass rush, and this is a crazy concept, but follow me here, is going to be concentrated on rushing the passer. What a pin drop that is. Pen almost rolled off the table. If that's the case, Jaden Daniels will be under duress all night. Now, there have been times in the past where you've seen Nick Saban defensive teams face mobile quarterbacks, and they don't pin their ears back. They do more like that mush rush concept, and they want to keep a guy in the pocket because they're basically telegraphing to him, we don't think you can beat us with your arm, and eventually we'll get home, but we're not rushing up the field past you, and we're not letting you outside the pocket as much as we can. We'll see how they go about things Saturday night. Field position, integral in any football game, is probably something that LSU needs to flip the script on here. And again, if you hear me talking a lot about what LSU needs to do, it's because in these games with bigger point spreads, that's how we do the preview. What would have to happen for the upset to occur? LSU's average starting field position this year, their own 28-yard line, that's 105th in the nation. Point blank, they need that to change Saturday. Even if it's just a one-off, they need to have that be different. They need to force some turnovers. They need to have that flip, and you need to look at the end of the night and say, wow, look at that. Their average was the 28. Boy, they started on like the 40-yard line on average tonight. How did they do that? Doesn't matter how they did it. They just need to be able to do it. Can you consistently drive the field otherwise on Bama? I don't think they can. Hey, fun stat here. If you're an Alabama fan, how do you think your defense has played this year? Jeopardy music in the background, give you some time. Do you know that Bama, counting the Tennessee game, Bama has allowed the 6th fewest defensive touchdowns in America this year? 15 of them total. Tennessee's got 7 out of the 15, by the way. Is that how you feel about your defense? Do you think that they're one of the 6 best in the country right now? I don't think many of you do. Numbers can do funny things to you. Or maybe you're holding your team to the standard of past Bama teams instead of looking around the rest of the country and thinking, wow, there aren't really many elite units out there, are there? Let's take a look at what the model thinks, and let's talk about what Vegas thinks. The Vegas line right here is Bama minus 13, and the model is right in line, actually. We've got Bama minus 12. Here's what I think. I think that there is obviously the elephant in the room, pun intended, being the Tennessee game that is baked into what our model thinks, and quite frankly, what the Vegas number is too. I think it's a bad matchup night for LSU. I just don't like it at all. I think Alabama's going to win. I think Bama's going to cover. And I don't even think they'll be without some of their usual self-inflicted wounds on the road. I don't think they'll play a clean game. I think at this point, it's foolish to expect that from Alabama. They've shown you they struggle with that too many times. I'm counting that in. And I still think, I know there's going to be a lot of noise made about this is the time that LSU's going to trip them up. Brian Kelly, year 1. I got full confidence in Brian Kelly. I don't think it's happening in year 1. I'm taking Bama to win. I think they win by over 2 touchdowns. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't leave yet. Don't leave yet. Make sure you like the video and please subscribe to the channel. Not just for me. That's how we keep this entire thing free.